In today's video, I'm going to show you an easy and beautiful hack to create gradient effect in your mosaic pieces. It's a fun technique I've used in several of my projects, and it adds so much depth, texture, and beauty. And the best part, it's not complicated. You don't need any special skills to do this, just a few tools, some color, and a little patience. Here's a quick example. Take a look at the butterfly wings here. See that soft color transition and texture? That's what we're going to explore today. So, the piece I'm working on this time is a commissioned mosaic for a friend who's completing a collection. She already has two pieces, one with a blue butterfly and another with a sunflower, both using this same gradient effect technique. For this third piece, she asked for something that includes a heart-shaped base, a cactus, and of course, another butterfly. To begin, I sketched the design digitally using Procreate, which is the drawing app I always use. It's super intuitive and makes it easy to adjust and refine my design before committing. And no, this is not an ad, I just genuinely love using it. If you would like to see how I use Procreate for mosaic planning, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video just for that. Once I was happy with the layout, I printed a couple of copies of the sketch. And if you would like this exact template to follow along or use for your own project, you can download the PDF. The instructions are in the description below. Before we dive into gluing or cutting anything, let's prep the surface. I always start by painting the substrate white. Why? Because I'll be using a mix of stained glass and some of it is translucent. A white base helps those colors pop and keeps everything vibrant. Once dry, I transfer my design using carbon paper. It's a simple but important step. It sets the foundation for everything that follows. Next step, building the border. For this, I use E6000 glue to attach a gold ball chain around the edges. It gives a nice polished frame and adds contrast to the glass. While that sets, I start cutting the green stained glass for the cactus. I'm using a mix of light and dark shades, and I'm also adding glass beads to create variation and a bit of sparkle. To cut the glass, I use wheel nippers, carefully snapping each piece to size. It's a satisfying process once you get the feel for it. To separate the cactus sections, I use black ball chain and I glue everything, the stained glass and the beads, with well-bond adhesive, making sure to leave tiny gaps for grouting later. Before I continue, quick reminder, if you are enjoying this tutorial and want to see more mosaic projects and techniques, be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I've got so many more ideas to share, and your support really helps keep this little mosaic world growing. Now we are ready for the fun part, the gradient flower. I start by tracing each petal onto a beautiful ripple texture clear glass using a Sharpie. Then I number each petal so I don't get lost after cutting. Trust me, numbering is a lifesaver. I cut the petals using a mix of tools. A pistol grip glass cutter for larger shapes, wheel nippers for the smaller curves, and a glass grinder for smoothing and shaping edges. If you have never used these tools before and want to learn, let me know. I would love to create a beginner's guide just for that. I'll also link everything I'm using in the description below, including a super helpful tool called MaxGrain, which protects your fingers while grinding. Once all the petals are ready, I create a gradient effect using acrylic paint. Here is how I do it. I start with a light base color, in this case white, and I make sure to cover the design lines so they don't show under the clear glass. Then I blend in a medium shade, in this case pink. And finally I add the darkest tone near the base of each petal. I use a blow dryer between layers to speed up the drying process. And once dry, I glue each petal down with well bound. Quick tip: it's important to cover the whole bottom of each petal to prevent grout bleeding. So as you can see, it looks white at first, but it dries completely clear in a day or two, and the colors underneath will shine through beautifully. For the smaller flower, I repeat the process but swap pink for orange as the middle tone, adding a slightly different look while keeping the same flow. Now for the butterfly, I decide to go off script and build it using glass pebbles, millefiori beads, and a few sparkly glass accents instead of cutting the traditional pieces. First, I paint over the lines with white acrylic so they don't show through the clear pebbles. Then I attach the body and I attach the butterfly's antennas using gold wire and two little heart-shaped beads at the tips, a sweet playful touch. I glue everything with E6000. For the wings, I go bold. Red pebbles for the upper wings, yellow for the lower ones. The result is a bright, joyful contrast to the softer flower gradient. To complete the piece, I cut small blue stained glass tiles for the background, just like I did for the cactus. I glue them down, again leaving small spaces in between. By now, the painted petals have dried, and that gradient effect really starts to glow. I always say, mosaics are like magic. You start with a bunch of broken pieces and suddenly you build something beautiful. And honestly, I found the whole process so therapeutic. It's my favorite way to escape without going anywhere. Once the glue is fully dry, I protect the areas I don't want grouted by covering them with painter's tape. For the grout, I chose a tan color to match the other two mosaics in the collection. I mix it a little thinner this time, and this is a trick I use when working with small gaps so the grout flows more easily between the tesserae. I'm using non-sanded grout here, but if you only have sanded, it's totally fine. Just go slow and be gentle with the cleanup. After letting the grout set slightly, I begin cleaning the surface, and that's when the real magic happens. The colors pop, the textures come to life, and you see the full piece for the first time. It turned out beautifully, and I think it fits perfectly with the other two mosaics. I just need to sign the back, let it fully dry, and it will be ready for delivery. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this tutorial gave you a helpful new technique to try and inspire your next project. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I love sharing what I know and learning alongside all of you. Until next time, keep creating, stay inspired, and remember, every little piece you place is a piece of your story. See you in the next video.